Hello guys, my name is Muhammad and welcome to episode 14 of the C++ tutorial series. In this tutorial, we're going to start what we call classes in C++. So basically, I'm going to advise you to listen carefully in order to know what classes are. And if you don't even understand this video, watch it and watch it again because classes are very important in C++. So basically, classes are a kind of a way or object-oriented programming, a kind of a way to make programming thinking or programming like the way we think about outside world, like an object in object-oriented programming have what we call the identity, characteristics, behavior. Everything in the real life have this tree identity, a kind of I am a person, therefore my identity is a human. A biro, it has an identity. A clothes, it has its own identity. Laptop is an identity. Then we have characteristics. That is the second part. A laptop can be black. A shoe can be red. A clothes can be blue. A watch can be golden. That is the characteristics of that thing. So its own identity is that thing itself, and then the characteristics of that thing, then the behavior of it. So the behavior of a frog is to jump. The behavior of a car is to move. The behavior of what can I say, of a person is to laugh or to move, which have different behavior. So that's the behavior. So in object-oriented programming, we have these three things about object-oriented programming that describe it. So identity, characteristics, that's the attribute, and then the behavior. So when we know this tree, to create an object, we have to make it have this kind of tree identity. The three things: the identity, the characteristics, and the behavior. So what if we want to create classes? So classes are a set of functions with or a thing that have a lot of functions inside it. So we can define a class, a computer or a computer class that consists of of laptops, of desktops. So inside the computer class, we have that kind of things inside the computer class. So what if we want to create a school class? We have students, we have chatbot, we have that, we have that, we have that. So it's a class, but we have different functions inside the class, and we have different what can I call it, objects and attributes and behaviors within the class. So what if we want to define a class? We use class as the keyword. Class outside the main function. So we define a class outside the main function to use classes. So we define like a function, we use like void, string, int, and all of that. So in classes, you use class, and then the name of the class, like we use in function. Like we want to define the class as football. So we have defined the class, and we will put the curly brace with this guy right here. As you can see, it has automatically know that when we define a class, we want it to have this kind of semicolon. So within the class, we define a function. So let's define something like void, then the name of the function, Macy, and we want to print something on the screen. Macy school in all classical. Oh, in all classical. All classical 2017. So, one point end, and we define our function and we put it, and we want it to output Messi score in El Clasico 2017. So, Messi as a function inside a class. So we can define another function, Ronaldo, and Ronaldo, I'm gonna say quotes. Ronaldo didn't score. Didn't score. So we have defined within the class of football, we have Messi, we have Ronaldo, we have all of that. So what if we want to access a class? So we put the name of the class. As you can see, the name of the class is football, right? Football. So we want to access what is within the class. We put football. Then the object's name. We want to put ball as the object's name. So to access Messi or Ronaldo, we will put ball dot Messi. This is how we can output the function, or the function inside the ball object, that is the object of football class. You can define the object as anything you want. You can define it as dog, cats, laptop, anything you want. So the object is ball, and ball.Messi. We access the Messi inside the function, inside the class football. So when we run this, you will see that Messi score in El Clasico 2017 will be output because he definitely scored. Okay. So, okay. Let me tell you one thing in classes. We have what we call access specifiers. So don't forget this. We have access specifiers. So down here, you will see that it says football Messi is private. So the reason for this is that we haven't defined the access specifiers. C++ is so annoying sometimes. If it is Python, you'll just access it without those stupid things. So because they are not stupid, they can create something amazing. So to kind of use the access specifiers, we have public, we have private, we have protected. So public is allows to access the values or the functions or the attributes that are inside the class. The private part cannot be accessed outside the class. You can only access them from the function inside the class or within the class. You cannot access it outside the class. So we have protected. Protected can be accessed from the outside of the class and from the inside. Not from the outside, from the inherited class. Oh my god. We will discuss inheritance in our next video, but you will just stick to it that we can access protected from the inherited class, but not outside the class. So let me show you. To define a protected class, or protected or public, we use public. So the reason that this doesn't add up is that we haven't specified whether these guys right here, these functions are private or protected or public. Is that when we didn't put that, it's automatically make them private. So don't forget that, because it will not run if you want to make something public and you make it private. So we put this public as an access specifier, that all these functions are to be public. I can access them outside the class. So if I put private here, I cannot. So private is a kind of important in object. Like if you don't want someone to change part of your program outside the program or outside the class, you want it to only be changed within a function or within the class functions or within the class itself. So don't forget that, because if you don't use private in your program, that means that you will never get a job because you will be vulnerable. It's like creating a bank account or a bank software, and then a person can easily change the balance of that bank without following the right procedures like deposits, withdrawal, etc. So we have to follow that kind of process to withdraw something from a bank, because if we can access our bank account balance, that means that we can change it without withdrawing it. We can hack it. Okay, okay. Let's just continue. Public class football. We define it as public, and we will run it. We have public. As you can see, Messi scored in Al Clasico 2017. So what if we want to access Ronaldo? We put ball dot Ronaldo. So if we run it, you'll see that it output ball dot Messi, as Messi scored in El Clasico and the Ronaldo didn't score have been output on the screen. So this is how you can create classes and access classes. In our next tutorial, we'll talk about more classes, but and if you like this video, click on the like button. Otherwise, stay tuned for my next episode.